All rise. Support court with Judge Van der Bee is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB1078, McKinney case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Ms. McKinney,
Yes, ma'am.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I am here to try to recoup costs that I've incurred with my daughter.
All right.
She's 9 years old. She's been with me since birth, and I'm paying for everything. I've been doing it all on my own.
All right.
Without a problem, but I've been doing it all on my own.
All right. And when you say all on your own, Dad isn't helping out financially at all?
At all.
Okay. And you said your daughter's 9.
Yes.
Is she involved in any type of extracurricular activities? That word always messes me up.
Yes, ma'am. Basketball, track and field, and tennis.
All right. Does Dad pay for any of those?
No, ma'am.
How much are the fees associated annually with each one of those?
Annually, probably roughly $4,700.
All right. Is Dad aware that she's in these activities?
Yes.
All right, folks, buckle up because this case is about to get intense. Miss McKinney steps forward, making it clear she's been raising her 9-year-old daughter completely on her own, with zero financial support from the alleged father. She's here today to establish paternity and secure the help her daughter deserves. The judge wastes no time and gets straight to the facts. What does the child do? Basketball, track and field, and tennis, all adding up to nearly $4,700 a year. And here's the kicker. The alleged father hasn't contributed a single cent. The tension is already rising, and we're just getting started.
So what is the backstory? I mean, she's 9, so were you all in a relationship previously? Like, what happened?
We were in a situationship for a weekend.
What in the world is that?
Well, it was a little bit more than a one-night stand. It lasted approximately 72 hours. I was on business in Washington, D.C., and he was there for a teacher's conference. I met him at a nightclub.
Ooh,
and,
I need to be careful what I ask.
Well, listen, the night grew long, and things happened within the next 72 hours. And so, yeah, that's the extent of it.
Okay, and you got pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. Was he involved in the pregnancy?
Well, he was definitely there.
Well, no, throughout your pregnancy.
Oh, throughout? No, ma'am.
Okay. So you've just literally had the baby, no help from him, nothing like that. Did he show up at the hospital?
No, he was late.
Okay. So did you all have a DNA test done?
No.
Does he know he's the father?
He doesn't think that he is, and he's the only Caucasian that I've ever been with, so.
Okay. So that's where the issue lies.
Now, here's where things really get interesting. Miss McKinney drops a bombshell. Her relationship with the alleged father lasted 72 hours. Yep, you heard that right. During a business trip to Washington, D.C., she met him at a nightclub, and, well, things escalated quickly. Fast forward 9 years, and she's been raising their daughter alone. The alleged father? Nowhere in sight. He didn't even show up at the hospital when the baby was born. He was a week late. The judge is clearly trying to make sense of this messy backstory, but one thing is certain. This case is far from simple. Interview. The alleged father finally gets his turn to speak, and wow, he has a lot to say. He doesn't deny the 72-hour fling, but insists that Miss McKinney earns way more than he does. He's a high school teacher, pulling in $660,000 a year. Yes, you read that right. Then he drops a bombshell. He has a newborn son with his fiancée. And how does he know the baby is his? Because, according to him, the baby is white. Yes, he actually said that. The judge's expression says it all. She's not buying it. And when he tries to argue that Miss McKinney doesn't need his money and is only pursuing this case out of jealousy, the tension in the courtroom skyrockets.
And he sent happy birthdays, things of that nature. How is she doing? So I believe if he didn't care at all, he wouldn't send those text messages. Now, he's done that for the past 9 years. I've just never seen any greenbacks to follow those texts.
Okay. So when he arrived at the hospital, did he sign the acknowledgement of paternity?
No, Your Honor. When I meant he was late, the baby was already a week old at the time. I was already at home. We'd left the hospital. That's what I mean by late.
Oh, so he didn't show up at the hospital at all?
No, Your Honor.
So he didn't sign the birth certificate or any acknowledgement of paternity or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So you're here today to do what exactly?
Well, I was hoping you would be able to help me, first and foremost, establish paternity
Okay.
at this point.
All right.
And
We
possibly
would definitely have to do that before any child support takes place.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
No, that's pretty much it. I've just been doing everything on my own. In my heart of hearts, I know that he is the father. I have no doubt. I'm just needing assistance.
Okay. All right. All right. Sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is what she's saying. Now, let me be clear in my questions because I just realized that I probably shouldn't have asked that question like that. Now, bypass all the 72-hour stuff that she talked about, right? Now, she's pregnant.
She was.
Okay, you were not involved in that process at all. In
No.
terms of,
The judge isn't buying any of the alleged father's excuses. She shuts him down fast, making it clear that his past relationship, or lack of one, with Miss McKinney doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the child's well-being. She orders a DNA test to establish paternity and lays it out plainly. If he's the father, he will be paying child support. No more dodging responsibility. Meanwhile, Miss McKinney is trying to stay composed, but you can tell she's done with his nonsense. And honestly, the judge's no-nonsense attitude is exactly what this chaotic case needed.
Look, let me just start off by saying that most of what she said is essentially true. Although there's some giant omissions in there and some things that you need to take into account to get the full picture.
well, does it involve the 72-hour
So
thing?
we were involved approximately that amount of time. Yes,
Okay.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't want to know any specific
don't
details
worry.
about that.
I'm not here to give you the details of it. I'm just here to tell you that we were in an intimate relationship on and off for about 72 hours, yes.
Okay. So, after you found out she was pregnant, what happened?
Well, first let me add some context to everything before I answer that, Your Honor. She works for the federal government. I'm a teacher. I'm a high school teacher. She
Okay.
makes significantly more money than I do. I make about $60,000 a year. I don't know the exact figure of her annual income, but I know it's a lot more than that. She's in far better position to support her daughter than I would be, and what she's asking for.
You said her daughter, so you truly don't believe this is your child?
I am willing to accept that it may be, but we've not done a DNA test. What she said about being only with one Caucasian man, I have no way of knowing if that's true. She's lied before to me. So don't take, she was honest with a lot of the stuff she said fairly, but here's a big thing she forgot to mention. I have a son of my own. I have a newborn son, and with my fiance.
Congratulations.
What does
Thank
that
you
have
very
to do
much.
with this?
This is
Well,
what it has.
I allowed you
Okay.
the opportunity to speak. This is his time. And now
ma'am.
I asked you,
Yes,
was there
ma'am.
anything else you needed me to know before I moved over to
But I
him?
already know he's gonna push my buttons.
Okay, well, just sit there and don't let him push your buttons.
Okay.
That's the ease, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can do that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
The judge wraps things up with a firm reminder. Personal drama doesn't matter. The child does. She orders DNA testing and makes it clear that the child's needs come first. Miss McKinney agrees to bring her daughter in for testing, and the case is put on hold until the results are in. As the judge dismisses the court, you can feel the unresolved tension in the air. This case is far from over, and you know the real drama is coming once those DNA results drop.